Welcome to Kenpo drills number 4. In this drills, we're going to go over 3 stationary drills that'll help work your hand patterns and help build rhythm within your strikes. So let's bow in and get started. Okay, once again, these are 3 very basic drills that are designed to just help you build up some rhythm with your strikes and just to practice changing strikes, going from one strike to the next and change some targets. The first one we're going to go over is just a simple back fist ridge hand. So from a square horse position, you can also do this one from a fighting stance by just going back fist ridge hand and come back to stance. So you can either do it from a fighting stance or a stationary stance. For right now, we're going to do this just as a stationary stance. So from here, you're going to throw a left back fist, right ridge hand. Then the right ridge hand is going to throw a back fist, left ridge hand. Then left back fist, right ridge hand, right back fist, left ridge hand. And then try to rock a little bit with it, just as if you were throwing the strike. Hit them, strike, back fist, strike. So you should be kind of rocking back and forth with this. This is a good one to work on a bag or a speed bag or a bob. These are real good for those types of drills if you have one in your home. This is also real good just for doing just this, just back fist ridge hand, back fist ridge hand. Just practice using combination of different strikes. Okay, that's like I said, it's real simple, just a back fist with the ridge hand. The next one we're going to do is just as simple. We're going to use 3 strikes now, and we're going to strike these all to the center line to the face. So we're going to start with our left hand extended, right hand in chamber. Now from here, you're going to throw a right punch to the face, roll it over, back knuckle to the nose, pull it back to your shoulder, hammer fist to the side of the head. Left side, punch, back fist, hammer fist. Right, punch, back fist, hammer fist. Left, punch, back fist, hammer fist, punch, back fist, hammer fist. Left, back fist, hammer fist. Right, back fist, hammer fist. Now as you see, I'm rocking with it. Now you can even go into soft bows with these. Punch, back fist, hammer fist, punch, back fist, hammer fist. And just rock back and forth. There again, this is another one that's real good to work on a speed bag, work on a bob, or just a standard hanging bag. So you can just rock back and forth as you do this. Punch, back fist, hammer fist. Punch, back fist, hammer fist. Punch, back fist, hammer fist. Just keep going back and forth. Okay, there again, you can just do this stationary, which is just stay in your square horse stance. No movement. Okay, it's just punch, back fist the face, hammer fist the nose. So in a street situation, if you were to use this, you could kind of say you threw a punch at the guy. Maybe he goes to block it, so you roll over the block and go to a hammer fist to the nose. You pull it back and go to a hammer fist. Okay, that's kind of what you're doing here. If you throw a punch, the guy goes to block, you roll over the block and go to a back fist to the face, and then you can go to a hammer fist to the head. That would be more of a street application for this. So you can practice actually doing that if you wanted to go to a sparring stance. Throw your punch, have your opponent block it, and then come over with the back fist, hammer fist, and then work that back and forth. So these will also work real good for freestyle drills. Okay, so your first 2 drills so far, these are real simple. You've got a back fist ridge hand drill where you just throw back fist ridge hands. Okay, these also work good with bags. And then we have the one we just did, which is a punch, back fist, hammer fist, punch, back fist, hammer fist, punch, back fist, hammer fist. Like I said, start off just do it straight, and then get a little what we call rocking and rolling with it. Just kind of rocking back and forth with it. Build up your rhythm. Make sure you're watching your targeting as you do this, watching the punching as you do it, making sure everything is up to par. Okay, those are your first 2. Your third and final one is a little bit more complicated, but not much, because we're going to throw in 4 strikes. So we're going to throw in a punch this time. Then we're going to do a right punch. We'll start with a right punch, left inverted. Then we're going to do a left ridge hand, followed by a right cross. Okay, so again, throw a punch, inverted, ridge hand, cross. So now how you would alternate between this is you start with your right punch, inverted, bring your hand here to shoulder. Then you do a vertical, a ridge hand. Then the hand goes to chamber, and you do a cross. Now from here, the left hand goes to a punch. Then you go to a right inverted, right ridge hand, left cross. Then you do a right punch, left inverted, left ridge hand, right cross. Now with this, you can also add one more strike. You can throw in your punch, inverted, hammer fist, ridge hand, cross. That would be punch, inverted, hammer fist, ridge hand, cross. So there's two variations of that depending on how many you want to add. You can add more to it than that if you want. You can mix and match them up. So let's go through it again. We're going to use all of four techniques, all four of the strikes, including the hammer fist. But you can take them out, you can put them back in, you can mix and match them. And these also, there again, work really good for an opponent if you have a partner to work with, practice blocking those as you throw them, and you can see how they would just go in and around. So for example, you threw a punch, they block it, you go to an inverted. If they block that, you can go to a hammer fist. If they block that, you go to a ridge hand, and then you go to a cross. Okay, so each time you're also setting them up, if you look at it this way too. You throw a punch high, the hands go up. You throw the punch low, now the hands go down. We're going to hit back to the face, the hands are up. Then we're going to throw a ridge hand to the side of the head where the hands are not. And then we're going to come across to where the other side where the hands are not. So if the hands are up, we're going to be hitting here and here, even though they're right there. So it does have street capability, but for this purpose, we're just practicing in a stationary position to work the hand drill and motion and get used to the combination. Once you're used to it, practice on a bag, practice on a speed bag, on a bob, practice with a partner. Have them block it so you can see how those punches can be used against the block and be used just to work the guy, or what we call shaping. In other words, putting the hands where they want them to be so we can set up our next strike. So once again, left hand extended, right hand in chamber. We throw a punch. Then we throw an inverted. Hand comes to shoulder, which sets up our hammer fist. Hand goes back to chamber, which sets up our ridge hand. Right hand goes into a cross. Okay? Then we go into a punch, inverted, hammer fist, ridge hand, cross. Punch, inverted, hammer fist, ridge hand, cross. Punch, inverted, hammer fist, ridge hand, cross. Okay? And those are your drills this week. For you to practice, you've got 3 or 4, depending on how you want to look at them, really good stationary drills. You have the back fist ridge hand you can work. And there again, these all work on the bag. Just throw a back fist ridge hand, back fist ridge hand. And then from there you have your punch, back fist, hammer fist, punch, back fist, hammer fist, punch, back fist, hammer fist, and then get rocking and rolling with it. Okay, work it back and forth, going into soft bows. And then you have the final one, which is where we're going to throw combinations of a punch, inverted, hammer fist, ridge hand, cross. And there again, throw the torque and the body weight into it. You don't have to stay mobile once you get comfortable with it. But try not to work too much at once and overload yourself. Once you got the hands down, add the hip action. Punch, inverted, hammer fist, ridge hand, cross. Punch, inverted, hammer fist, ridge hand, cross. Punch, inverted, hammer fist, ridge hand, cross. Okay? And those are your drills this week to practice. I hope they are helping you with your continued journey in your Kenpo. Until our next lesson, Keep up the great work. Hope you're enjoying these drills, and we'll have more to come next week. Until then.